The reason why I'm stopping you, man, is because your trailer. We've been having a lot of trailer thefts in the area. I'm just getting out and IDing you, all right? We've been having a lot of trailer thefts, so I'm getting out and IDing you.
I didn't know you get me out of the vehicle for. I mean, what did I do wrong?
Because I have to ID you. Just step out the vehicle for me, okay?
What did I do wrong?
Huh?
What did I do wrong?
Because you failing not to give me your information, okay?
Welcome back to the Lackluster channel. Today's video was submitted by a viewer named Robert, who on January of 2018 was driving home from work in Newberry County, South Carolina. Robert works as a tow truck driver and had an empty car trailer in tow. Not an uncommon piece of equipment for a tow truck driver. During his travels home, his radar detector began alerting. Shortly after, a sheriff department cruiser passed him in the oncoming lane. The deputy turned around to get behind him and flashed his blue lights to initiate a traffic stop. Robert pulled into the nearest parking lot and stopped his vehicle. Deputy Brian Smith of the Newberry County Sheriff's Office approaches the driver's side window.
Hey, come up to the Kangaroo gas station, would you? Just come up, yeah, just come up here. Hey, how's it going, bud?
How you doing, sir?
Yeah, just come on up here.
I'm Deputy Smith in Newberry County Sheriff's Office.
How you doing tonight?
The reason why I'm stopping you, man, is because your trailer. We've been having a lot of trailer thefts in the area. I'm just getting out and IDing you, all right? You got your license, registration, proof of insurance for me?
Oh my God, I ain't got it on me right now.
You don't have your license with you?
No, sir.
What's your name, boss?
My name's Robert.
Robert what?
Word.
Spell that for me.
What, my last name?
Yes, sir.
R-O-B.
You don't have to speak up.
Did I do some kind of crime or something like that, or?
I'm just getting out and IDing you. That's what I'm doing, okay?
For what?
I just explained it to you. We've been having a lot of trailer thefts, so I'm getting out and IDing you.
I didn't steal anything, you know.
I didn't say that, did I?
No.
I said I'm just basically getting out and IDing you, okay? Spell your last name for me.
Deputy Smith informs Robert that there have been a lot of trailer thefts in the area, and because Robert owned a trailer and was currently driving with it in tow, the officer needed to identify him. A deputy pulling over a driver constitutes a detention. The driver hasn't been arrested, but nevertheless isn't free to leave. In the Supreme Court case of Delaware v. Prowse, a man was being prosecuted for possession of an illegal substance. However, the officer testified that he hadn't observed a violation of any traffic laws before he conducted the stop. His only purpose was to check if the man had a driver's license and vehicle registration, almost identical to this incident. The court held that this officer's spot check, when left entirely to the officer's discretion, was unconstitutional. How any officer doesn't realize that it's a blatant violation of the Fourth Amendment is mind-blowing. Regardless, Deputy Smith continues to pressure Robert after he asks why he's been stopped.
Spell your last name for me.
I don't know why, you know what I mean? Why you got a thing?
Say what?
I just don't know what I didn't do nothing wrong, you know what I mean?
I just explained it to you. If you don't want to give me your information, I'll get you out the vehicle and I'll get it that way,
okay? What you get me out of the vehicle for? I mean, what did I do wrong?
Because I have to ID you. Just give me your name.
Well, ID me for what, though?
You know what? Just do me a favor. Just step out the vehicle.
I'm just trying to talk to you.
Just step out the vehicle for me, okay?
I'm just trying to talk to you, man.
Step out the vehicle for me.
For what? What did I do wrong?
Just step out the vehicle for me, okay?
What did I do wrong?
Huh?
What did I do wrong?
Because you failing not to give me your information, okay?
I didn't do nothing wrong. That ain't a crime, man.
I'm telling you, I'm identifying you, okay? And I just say that we've been having a lot of trailer thefts in the area, and I'm just basically identifying you.
I understand, but I didn't do no thefting, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying, officer.
Just step on up out of here.
For what?
Just step out here. This is my last time telling you. Step out the vehicle for me.
What did I do wrong?
Step out the vehicle for me. We got with a Robert Road Barge Patrol. Find any subject information for me. Just leave that right there for me. You got anything that's gonna stick me? Get your hands out your pocket. Get your hands out your pocket for me. Drop your cigarette.
What are you doing?
Drop your cigarette.
What did I do? Did I commit a crime?
Drop your cigarette. I will explain it to you. Drop your cigarette.
All right. What did I do?
You got anything on you that gonna stick me, stab me, poke me, anything like that?
No, sir.
That's all I was out here doing, just IDing you, okay, man?
That's kind of fine. You gotta ID me, man. You ain't gotta lock me up. I mean, what did I do wrong?
Did I say you were under arrest?
No, sir.
You're being detained at this time. You got anything on you that gonna stick and stab and poke me, anything like that?
No, sir.
Step back to the truck. I'm gonna pat you down for your safety and my safety, okay? Spread your feet for me. Spread your feet for me. Can you spread your feet for me?
In the Supreme Court case of Pennsylvania v. Mims, an officer has the authority to remove the driver of a vehicle during a lawful traffic stop. The key word is lawful, and nothing about this detention was lawful. Robert was issued a ticket for not having proof of insurance or his driver's license. The truck and trailer were impounded, and he spent the night in jail. However, because the traffic stop was an egregious violation of Robert's civil rights, the tickets were thrown out. Robert still had to spend over $400 to retrieve his property from the impound lot. He filed a complaint against the deputy, but the department investigated itself and found no wrongdoing. Like most people, Robert knew something wasn't right about the encounter, but didn't know what to do about it. This would have been an easy lawsuit, but has now passed the statute of limitations to file. This incident shows the danger of handing out authority to people that don't understand basic human rights. For some reason, this deputy thought it was okay to stop someone's travels, remove them from their vehicle, and lock him and his property in a cage, all because someone else at some other time had stolen a trailer. Power corrupts the greatest of men, and in this case, it seems like the deputy doesn't even realize he was breaking his oath to the Constitution, and the department's failure to act on this incident reinforces Deputy Smith's idea that he can continue with this behavior, and many more will suffer because they're unaware of their right to travel freely and their right to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects. Robert did well to at least have a radar detector and dash cam in his vehicle. If you don't, be sure to check out my recommendations in the description and film all of your interactions with law enforcement. A big thanks to Robert for sending this in. Be sure to leave him a comment down below and let him know what you think of this interaction. On February 28th of 1995, the Denver International Airport officially opened its doors. It was 16 months behind schedule and approximately $3.5 billion over budget. Clearly, an ambitious project with many interesting features. Almost immediately, questions were raised. Why did this airport take so long to build? Why did it cost so much money? Why were so many different contractors used? Decades have passed, and many of these questions remain unanswered. But one thing is certain, there's something very strange about this airport. Some believe that there is a secret underground city beneath the facility. Others say the airport's infamous art murals contain hidden warnings about the end of the world. But the most shocking theories involve the true purpose of the Denver International Airport. Depending on who you ask, the structure could one day be used as a concentration camp, a military facility, or a Noah's Ark that will shelter pre-selected individuals from an extinction-level event. But why are there so many wild theories surrounding the Denver International Airport? Is there any truth behind these stories? And perhaps most importantly, what is the real purpose of this strange facility? Let's find out. As always, thanks for watching. If you have a video you'd like to submit for review, use the link in the description or pinned comment. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification for future content. And remember to like, share, and comment down below of what you think of this interaction. It really helps the channel. If you enjoy our content, try our other channels, Lackluster Limited for criminal psychology content, and The Odd Side for paranormal videos. Shirts and other merchandise are available at the Teespring store. Memberships start at just $1 if you'd like to help further support the channel and get a slick Lack logo next to your name. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. All links are down below.